Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We are finally here. It's the Euro 2024 final prediction. Made it all the way through the group stages, through the knockout stages, and all the way now to the final. And what a final. We've got two massive nations as Spain face England in what will be a huge game. Looking back at our prediction points before we get into the predictions, guys, we have got 34 points coming into the semi-finals. We only added 1 point for the Spain and France game. I predicted Spain to go through. Did not predict England go through, though. I predicted the Dutch to go through. As such, we had 1 more point, so it makes our total 35 throughout the tournament. If you're wondering, if you're new to the channel, how this point system works, it is 3 points direct scoreline, 1 point for the correct result predicted, and obviously 0 points for neither. So not done too bad throughout the tournament. I think could have done much better, but hey, sometimes I just waffle for no reason in the end. If you're new to the channel, guys, also please subscribe. Join us. We're on the hunt here for 600 subscribers. As we get towards the new seasons, that'd be much appreciated. With that being said, I won't talk too much now. Let's get straight now into our predictions for the final. All right, ladies and gents, here we go. Final Euro 2024, Spain and England. As I said, two massive footballing nations, two nations wanting another trophy. Spain with so much recent history, especially in the European Championships. England starved since '66 of some trophy with some silverware for all their efforts. They were obviously here last time in Euro 2020 at home, where they lost on penalties to Italy, so they know what this stage is all about. However, this Spanish side's a younger side. They haven't experienced that glory. There's not many of those original players that won of those European Championship finals in the early 2000s. Other than Jesus Navas, no one has remained from that side. So two young teams that are learning the ropes. Yes, it's England side. Some players are in that final, but again, it's a whole different experience, another different final to be excited about. Let's start with Spain. Obviously, coming to the final on the back of another win, a 2-1 victory coming from behind versus France. They've now gone 6 wins from 6 games, the only team to do that ever at a European Championships, winning 6 games in a row and doing it in quite stylish fashion. You look back over their performances, they counter-attacked Croatia and played a more deeper line, using the flanks and using pace really, really well there. They played Italy off the park with possession football, chance creation after chance creation, and in the end, Calafiori's own goal was a difference there. They rotated versus Albania, but dominated off the park with midfield control and using that real tiki-taka style of football we've come used to with Spain. Then a come from behind victory versus Georgia, followed by incredible game management versus Germany and France, where they took the lead and then were slow and game managed and used the tempo of the game and slowed it down to win those 2 games against really, really solid sides. So they've won in so many different ways, and I've talked about that consistently throughout the knockout stages. That's what's been, I guess, maybe a surprise point or I guess their selling point in this Spanish side. They can win in different ways. They game manage really, really well. They've got those midfield game changes in midfield, like so Rodri, Fabian Ruiz, Dani Olmo's come in and changed the game for them as well in the middle of the park, where they can go attacking mode very easily, but also easily can adjust and sit in and become game managers and 1-touch, 2-touch passing like we saw versus the French in that second half. From the 70th minute onwards, they were fantastic keeping the ball with the French and playing around the park and forcing the French to chase ball. And that would be very, very important in terms of entering a final, managing a game, managing a time where England might be on top, take the sting out the game with possession, or you're on top and holding on for a victory and manage the game with keeping the ball off England. So that's a very, very important avenue of their game. They can play with pace on the flanks. We know those superstars, those young stars on the flanks, especially with Danny Carvajal and Marco Correa helping out from the wing-back positions. They've got a lot of width. They've got a lot of pace over there. They can play through the lines of tiki-taka with the likes of Fabian Ruiz, Dani Olmo midfield. Alvaro Morata can drop in and allow spaces and avenues for those wingers to come more centrally and running behind. They've got that avenue as well. They can play the counter-attack with the pace they've got up top and how they can defend deep and defend well. So there's so many different ways they can go about beating teams. And throughout the tournament, they've showed us every different style of football. And yes, they've rotated in that final group game. Players like Jesus Navas came in and did a fantastic job versus Kylian Mbappe across 60 minutes last time out. You've had Nacho and Lenormand and Laporte all rotating as a 3 centre-half. They've all had their big moments through different games and done fantastically well. You've got players like Dani Olmo, who was a bench player that's come in and now, and many people arguing he might be player of the tournament with his 3 goals from 3 knockout games now. So every player's had their moment. They've stood up and they've taken it. And that's just a positive sign of a team that's together, that plays together, and that's got a lot of talent all over the park. Obviously, last time, as I said, France, very, very difficult game. France probably brought their best performance that last game. They had all the possession, a lot of chances. Spain only had 1 touch in the French penalty area, I think, in the second half. So it showed they didn't have to be that dominating Spain side that we've become used to this tournament to go and win a game of football. They played on the counter attack. They played defensive. They sat that low block and kept Spain out. They said, you don't have enough creation to get past us. So we've scored our 2 goals on a piece of magic from Dani Olmo and Lamine Yamal. Individual brilliance, get the job done, and then we're going to sit in defensively and soak up the pressure. And especially the response they made after going down in the first 10 minutes was fantastic. Colin Muani's header from a Kylian Mbappe, fantastic cross. It's easy to go in your shell and be like, oh no, this French side that's been to back-to-back World Cup finals, that has been to a European Championship final recently as well, they might have just got the better of us this day. No, they went out there and attacked them, went at them at pace and power. And obviously, Lamine Yamal equalises soon after. And then Dani Olmo, 4 minutes later, goes and scores a fantastic goal to put them in front. That's just the mentality of the Spanish side as well. They feel like a club team. They look like they've been playing together for ages. They know how each other works and operates. They know the strengths and weaknesses of each individual player. They press as a unit. They defend as a unit. And they attack with numbers. They know how to play through presses. They know how to play through the lines. They know where to play and when to play the ball. It's a different sort of telepathic style of football right now. And you've got key players all over the park that contributes to that, and you've got winners all over the park as well. We'll get into some of those names here in just a bit. I just want to harp on about the fact that Spain have not just played the one style, the tiki-taka style of football. They're versatile. They can mould. They can adjust the game situation. And that's where they might have been an advantage over England. England, do they have that pragmatic style of football? We've seen them go to a more progressive style, and they've managed games much better across the quarterfinal and semi-final appearances. But do they have the ability to in-game manage? To, yes, we might go down. Let's go and attack. But then we score an equaliser. Let's now manage the game. I don't think they have that quite as well as the Spanish have that. The likes of Rodri's, Dani Carvajal's, Laporte's, they know they're winners. They know situations like these. They know how to manage. They know how to adjust their system to suit a certain situation in a game. I think that's where we might see the differential. I'll talk about that a little bit later in the video, but let's talk about some 3 key players now for Spain. Number 1 is obviously the game changer for me in many regards. Rodri, the centre of the park, controls the pace of the game, controls the momentum of the game, and controls the middle of the park, the most important area in the park. You guys are probably getting sick of me saying it so far this tournament, but the midfield battle has been pivotal every single game, and especially in this game here when you've got 2 teams that have such quality individual talents. You need to have someone that can control the pace, can win the midfield battle, because if you can win the midfield battle, you can control the tempo of the game. You can deny the individual brilliance on the other side from occurring because you can manage the game, sit in a bit deeper, keep the ball when you need to. And Rodri can do that. I've said it throughout, it's like undefinable what he can do in terms of how he contributes to winning, but he always gets it done. He finds a way to make his teams win. There's a reason why he's only lost 1 game across the last, 59, 60 through club and country. It's because he contributes to winning in a way that no one can. It's controlling the ball in the middle of the park versus France. Fantastic in keeping the ball. 1-touch passes in the second half. Versus Germany, progressing them forward, winning the ball back against a great German midfield and getting Spain forward. Look at some of the group stages, against Georgia as well in the round of 16, scoring a massive goal to equalise for your side when your back's against the wall. These are the moments that Rodri contributes to. In that first game versus Croatia, winning the ball back, that led to that counter-attack goal for Alvaro Morata. These are these moments. You keep looking back throughout the tournament. Rodri's been pivotal in every single game for Spain. He's so pivotal for Man City. You see the difference when he's there versus when he's not there. He will dominate the middle of the park, having to cover off the likes of Jude Bellingham, Kobbie Mainoo, Declan Rice, who are all fantastic midfielders in their own rights. But Rodri on his own can probably outmatch all 3 of them. That's just the player he is, right? Obviously, Kobbie Mainoo and Declan Rice have been fantastic over the last 2 games in midfield, getting England, winning the ball back and progressing them up the pitch. But with Rodri there, it's going to be a different sort of kettle of fish, and it's going to be really, really tough for those 2 to dictate the game and control the pace. So Rodri for me is massive. He'll go a long way for Spain winning this game of football. For me, the next player is Nico Williams. Obviously, everyone will chat about Lamine Yamal and the quality he is. We already know that. That's common knowledge. But for me, Nico Williams on that left-hand flank is going to be very, very interesting. Came up against Kyle Walker and Bukayo Saka as a double on that right-hand defensive flank for England. He's going to have to be at his best. I think a 2-headed snake's better than a 1-headed snake, right? If you just have Lamine Yamal as your out ball, it's not going to really work. Nico Williams showed that versus France in the second half when they were sitting back deep. Who were they hitting the ball towards to run in behind? It was Nico Williams. It was getting the better of Jules Koundé at times, running in behind, beating of pace. He's got that raw, just turn of speed. Lamine Yamal's quick, but not as quick as Nico Williams. And when he gets the ball, he's so good at terms of holding the ball up and allowing the cavalry to join him. And I think keeping the flanks open and wide with like Nico and Lamine Yamal both being options is going to be important for Spain. Yes, Lamine's magical on the ball and his trickery is second to none. But Nico Williams, direct running, his flair on the ball also is quite dangerous. He might not be Lamine Yamal level trickery, but he can still skip past defenders and make it difficult for them. He's going to have a very, very hard job against both England defenders. They're dropping back Bukayo Saka and Kyle Walker. But if they're going to need two flanks to operate to be at their best and to open up space, allow Morata spots and Yamal spots, and even Nico to deliver for others in the box. He's been fantastic delivering for others and creating chances for others as well. So he had a quiet last two games, but expect him to bounce back. I think he'll be pivotal for Spain. And then finally for me, Dani Carvajal, a name that you probably wouldn't expect, but I think it's been so important. Had the game off with suspension. He's a Real Madrid player. He was a captain at times. He knows his big games. He knows his big moments. And he, as I said, the commentaries people said, a bit of the dark arts, the bad fouls early on, just to let them know. We saw the Champions League finals recently, a fantastic performance to head home a goal in that game as well. Even the semi-finals are so pivotal. He doesn't seem like he has the pace to keep up with his wingers, but he does. And he's going to have Phil Foden out there. He's going to have Luke Shaw at times out there attacking him. He's going to be so important defensively, but also going forward, providing the overlapping runs for Nico Williams and more importantly, Lamine Yamal on his side there as well. That overlapping run creates space, creates opportunities for Lamine Yamal to cut inside and get on his left foot there and create shots and passing opportunities for him. So important defensively to stop the likes of Phil Foden and Bellingham if he comes out that side, and also Luke Shaw as well. But importantly to overlap and create attacking threat going forward as well. And he's experienced. He's won countless Champions League, countless league titles. Being a pivotal figure for Real Madrid at the back line, he will have to be at his best yet again. And I feel like he always is in finals. He always stands up in those big games. Dani Carvajal, for me, I associate him with big games and big finals. So for me, again, so pivotal to see if Spain do well in this final will be Dani Carvajal's performance. Coming to England, they obviously come off a dramatic late win versus the Dutch 2-1 as well, winning their game, coming from behind as well. They were fantastic, and the improvement's been there. It's been consistent. It's been really pragmatic and boring. Individual piece of brilliance, and then all the way here to now to a more progressive, sustainable style of football. They've gone to this fight back, and it's helped. Phil Foden's looked much better. Jude Bellingham might have looked a little bit worse, but I think it will suit him eventually over time. Harry Kane's looking a little bit better, staying higher up the pitch. But more importantly, you're seeing more from Bukayo Saka, you're seeing more from Kobbie Mainoo and Declan Rice. The defence looks settled. It looks like a team that's maximising every player's potential, and that goes a long way because England probably have the most individual brilliance out of any team in the competition, and that's why you've had Jude Bellingham's bicycle kick. That's why you've had Bukayo Saka's that equaliser, and that's why you've had Ollie Watkins' last kick of the 90 winner as well, because they've got individual talent. And yes, they've gotten through in a weak side of the draw, and yes, they've scraped through victories in the knockout stages, but in terms of the whole 90-minute, 120-minute performances, it's getting better and better. And that's a real dangerous side for Spain because this side is almost kicking the gear at the right time. Spain have been at top gear probably throughout the whole tournament. They haven't really dropped from it. Their standards haven't not really gone away from it. But whereas they've been there instead of teetering at the top, England come from that low point, basically at rock bottom, and kept going all the way up and hitting top gear at the right time. And they're a team that's got so much talent, so much danger, whether it be on the counter-attack, playing through the lines in possession. And they've built this style of football all around that midfield progression. When you got Declan Rice in there, alongside Kobbie Mainoo, alongside Jude Bellingham and Phil Foden, there's so much talent there to drive the ball forward, to play through tight areas. You're seeing it start to work against the Dutch. They struggled. The Dutch were a team I thought would play on the ball, and England be the one sitting back in defensively looking to counter-attack. It was roles reversed because of what the likes of Kobbie Mainoo, Declan Rice doing in midfield, how solid the defence was winning the ball back and getting the ball forward. There's a real effort now to look forward rather than sideways and backwards. The first four games, the group stages in round of 16, England were permanently sideways or permanently backwards. That whole philosophy has changed. It is, let's look forward. Let's look for plays in front of the ball. Let's drive into spaces. Make spaces open up. They attacked the Dutch side that I think we're expecting to be attacked. That's my point of view. I think that's how the Dutch were caught off guard as well. That's why the first half was so much in England favour there. Yes, they got sort of counteracted in the second half, and yes, game management-wise, I think they're a little bit weaker than Spain. I think Gareth Southgate waits too late at times to get things done, but it's worked. Cole Palmer and Ollie Watkins come off the bench to link up for that winner. You see what Cole Palmer, Luke Shaw brought to that previous game versus Switzerland, creating width, creating chances. Bukayo Saka scores that goal. They both take penalty. Cole Palmer, Ivan Toney take penalties. Trent Alexander-Arnold takes penalties, and they all score them. So his substitutions have worked. Have they been a little bit late? To the naked eye, yes, but maybe they're working for a reason. Maybe they're late for a reason. It gives them enough time to impact a game. I don't know, but it's seemed to work. Gareth Southgate is a mastermind in many regards because I can't work out what he's thinking. I don't think the opposition can as well. It's very reactionary, but it seems to work. So England are moving in the right directions. Their defence is obviously their strong point throughout the tournament, and will have to be at their best yet again to deny what Spain do with and without the ball. That's when they're at their best. Spain can press you. Spain can play through the line, so the defence will have to be on top form. Talking about 3 players for England, starting off with the biggest one. Again, no surprise, another midfielder, Kobbie Mainoo. The guy is a youngster playing as a veteran type player at the moment. I compare him like to Scholes, Carrick, Lampard, Gerrard. You can compare him to the level of what Fabian Ruiz has done this time for Spain. He is a conductor in that midfield. Gets the ball, gets his head up, drives, really, really good driving with the ball at his feet into spaces, opening space up for the others. That fantastic run where he turns blindly against the Dutch, then drives and then plays into Phil Foden. Opens up a chance out of nothing. That's the player he is. He's capable of winning the ball back in midfield. Works really, really well with Declan Rice and a double pivot in there. But most importantly, he's the one that gets England going forward. He's the one looking with his help to play the progressive pass, to drive them forward into a dangerous opportunity. Because without him there, England were a very side-to-side team. They were side-to-side, they were backwards, they were boring. Kobbie Mainoo, with that youthfulness, with that ability he has on the ball to dribble past defenders, to take on the aggressive pass, separates him from a lot of their midfielders and makes him a better side for it. So he'll be so important again. Come up against a Rodri, a Fabian Ruiz, a Dani Olmo, which have easily been the best midfield in the competition. Can he match it with them? Can he keep rising his levels of performances? Pass accuracy in the 90s, successful dribbles, nearly 100% most games. That's the players. He takes the game on. Can he continue to take that game on against some of the best midfielders in the world and arguably the best holding midfielder in the world that we've seen across the last 5 to 10 years? Rodri's at his peak of his powers. Kobbie Mainoo got the better of an FA Cup final. Rodri will want revenge. So we've seen Mainoo do it before. Can he do it yet again versus Rodri? We'll have to wait and see. But he was so pivotal to get England going forward, winning that midfield battle, and obviously in the end winning the game of football. The second player, Jude Bellingham, as I said, he turned out a quiet last few games. Was a saviour in the round of 16 with that bicycle kick. We know he loves big moments. He plays for Real Madrid. He knows big games. He knows big occasions. He's done that again in El Clasicos, in a Champions League final. He knows he's in a big occasion. And I think he's a player for big occasions, right? I think here, despite with the quiet last few games, he'll be the one that will want to lift and be that player to own the moment and win the game for his nation. And I think he could do that. His physicality, his size, his smarts, his positioning to get in the box and make those late runs and create for others and create for himself. I feel like it'll be a goal and assist for him to sort of decide this game if England win it. I feel like he will be that player in this big game to stand up. The who else sort of thing he was saying to the crowd in the round of 16. He believes in himself. He's got that total belief, that total confidence that he can get the job done. And I feel like he might be the player to do that here in this game. It's been brewing now. A few sort of subpar performances of Jude, looking a little bit sore. But you come to a final, it's a different story. It's these types of individual players that can change a game. We saw how Leo Watkins won the game for England the last time out. Bellingham got them to extra time in the round of 16. It was like a Bellingham-type final performance to win it again. And if he wins this game on the back of his performance, you can almost wrap up the Ballon d'Or. It'll be in his favour right now. He's got one hand on it right now. Vini's close, Rodri's close. But what a way to shut up all the haters and I guess beat the opposition by winning this tournament. He's so close to getting this Ballon d'Or, and I feel like this game here, this could be a pivotal. I hate always using the word, but aura type performance. This screams a Jude Bellingham type atmosphere, occasion. I feel like he could stand up in a big moment here to win this game for his country. And thirdly, back to another unexpected name, Luke Shaw. The left back, going to be really, really important in this game. Obviously, hasn't really started for 7 months, basically, but will be pivotal. I think he'll go for the start. I think you have to go with him. The difference he makes, having a left footer on that left wing back position, is massive for the side. He'll, again, open up Phil Foden by being that wide player who keeps the width, whether it be Foden or Bellingham, whoever drifts out there in that number 10 role. By Luke Shaw overlapping, it creates avenues inside for Foden or for Bellingham to cut inside and use their ability to play the pass. I think it'll be so important. So he's going to be a really, really viable option, but importantly also defensively. With Dani Carvajal and Lamine Yamal coming the other way, he's going to be at his best defensively. It's going to be hard to shut these guys down, especially with Lamine Yamal's trickery and his ability to drop the shoulder and get in on that left foot and get shots off. And Dani Carvajal's willingness to get up and down that flank, and also Dani Carvajal's defensive acumen. You're going to have to try and get past him if you're Luke Shaw going forward as well. So that little fullback battle there, we're really, really interested to see who wins out. And it could be pivotal in terms of who wins the game overall, because these fullbacks might be unselfish in terms of creating for their attacking players, whether it be Bellingham or Lamine Yamal. Dani Carvajal and Luke Shaw, by keeping their width, might create an opportunity for these two guys to score a pivotal goal. So I think he'll be so important. His runs up and down the flank, the difference he makes. We've seen it in the last 2 games in knockout stages. When he's come on, England have looked 10 times a better side. Fair play to Trippier, solid player. good defensively, had a few mistakes this season. I feel like it's the time for Luke Shaw now, especially with Lamine Yamal and the form he's in. You need someone to shut him down. And Luke Shaw, when he's at his best, gets called Shawberto Carlos for a reason, right? Because he's got that ability on the ball to go forward and also defensively to shut down his opposition. So I feel like for me, Luke Shaw will be pivotal in this game. Whether he starts, I think he should start, or off the bench to try and impact the game from there. Look at this game as a whole. It's going to be interesting, right? Yeah, Spain have been the top dogs throughout, number one in the power rankings throughout, played the best football, got the best informed players right now. But England have those sort of moments, players, individual brilliance there to keep up. Both sides have individual talents all over the park. We've touched on a few names, like the Rodri versus Mainu battle in midfield. You can say Fabian Ruiz versus Declan Rice. You can also talk about Laporte, versus Harry Kane. You can talk about Dani Carvajal going up against a Jude Bellingham, or Lamine Yamal versus a Luke Shaw, Kieran Trippier. Like, there's battles all over the park. And I think because of how good both teams are and how I think this final will be quite pragmatic through periods and the pace will be slow and no team will want to lose the game, I think you're going to rely on a piece of individual brilliance. And I think the Spanish players, with the football they play and the confidence they have, and De La Fuente's implementing this side, I think their quality will be enough to get over the line in key moments, right? England have those talents and individual brilliance to get those goals at nothing, but Spain can create those moments. They can make that happen because like Rodri, Fabian Ruiz, Dani Olmo, Lamine Yamal, Nico Williams, they have been used to doing it throughout this tournament, right? They can create. Right? They can create those moments that come from nothing more often than the English side can. And I feel like the English side has to be provoked to go and do that. They go 1-0 down versus the Dutch. They come back and produce one of their best first halves. They go 1 down throughout all the knockout stages. They come back and produce. The Switzerland one was the biggest one. Switzerland 15 minutes away from going through a famous semi-final. All of a sudden, on come the substitutes, on come the magic moment. Bukayo Saka equalises 5 minutes later. There are sides that needs to be provoked to play their best football, I feel like, where Spain play it throughout. Spain can manage games. They can sit in deep. They can play their counter-attack. They've got those pacey wingers. They've got those skillful wingers. But they've got wingers that know when to play the right ball. I feel like the English wingers, yes, Bukayo Saka and Phil Foden, and the fullbacks of Walker and Shaw or Trippier, yes, they've got that. But I think the IQ of the wide players of Spain are on the next level to England. English guys are fantastic, but those Spanish players' IQs and their ability in the ball and the ability to find the right moment and right pass separates them. And I feel like in those 50-50 battles all over the park, the Spanish players have the better decision-making, the better IQ, and have played the better football. They know how to win these moments, win these 50-50s. Spain have gone down. They've led games. They've come from behind. They've counter-attacked. They've controlled momentum. They can dictate the pace of the game. They've won so many different ways. They've built a formula that can win so many games of football in different avenues, in different game situations. I think that puts them in a better spot. Yes, England have got those moment players. Yes, they can come from behind. Yes, they can sit in. Yes, they can have the ability to go and attack. Have we seen enough of it, though? Isn't convincing enough? No. And for a prediction, I cannot back them in. As such, I've got Spain win this game 3-1. I feel like it'll be a 2-1 game and a Spain late goal to get over the line and make the scoreline look a bit better. I just feel like those wide players of Spain are in the form of their lives right now. They're going to be too much to handle. I think the England players, it's going to be a massive occasion for them. And I feel like in these tough moments, the Spanish players will flourish. The experience of Rodri, the experience of Dani Carvajal, Unai Simon, Laporte, Alvaro Morata. That's the difference, right? Yes, we've had Walker and Stones and Kane and Rice all there when they lost that final 3 years ago for England. But these players are a different type of level of experience in the Spanish side. And I think the coaching, De La Fuente's ability to change games on the bench. They're bench players as well. We can't forget the Spanish bench players. Mikel Oyarzabal, Mikel Moreno, Ferran Torres impacted games so well coming off the bench. Not maybe to the extent of Cole Palmer's but they still impacted as well. But I feel like the game management, the management itself from the manager and those big-time players will be enough to beat England here. It's going to be tight, don't get me wrong. It's going to be tight. It's a final for a reason. I think it's going to be pragmatic and be slow in the first half. But those moments that win or lose games, the Spanish players have got those players to just tip it in their favour. And as such, I've gone a Spain 3-1 win. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. I could be purely wrong. I know England are coming with a lot of momentum, a lot of memorable moments, a lot of momentum-defining moments that knock it into your favour. But I feel like Spain have been the best team throughout the tournament. They've been producing the better moments, the better performances, the better football. I think that carried over this game here. And that confidence of those performances carried over this game here. I think they get the win. That's my view on it. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed the video, please smash a like on it. Subscribe to the Players Zone channel for more videos and podcasts and reaction videos like these. And also press that post notification bell so you know we upload here on the channel. quick word, thank you for all the support so far in these Euros, especially the predictions. They've come alive. Round of 16, quarterfinal, semi-final predictions. We've got like 5,000-6,000 views across these 3 videos. That's much appreciated. If you're new, please join the channel, join the movement here. Premier League podcast, Bundesliga, Serie A, La Liga podcast as well here in the channel. I do reaction videos for the weekend. We do Champions League stuff, Premier League predictions, a lot of things happening in the channel. Basically, daily uploads as the season comes around the corner. Please also join me for the final watch along. It'll be myself and 2 of the boys from the podcast and potentially a 4th guest as well to make it really, really exciting. It's going to be meeting a live show 20 minutes before the game, just previewing the game even further. Then we'll get the live stream going. It'll be 4 guys here enjoying the football. It's going to be great fun. So please come along and join me for the live watch along as well. That'd be much appreciated. And just a massive thank you for all the support throughout Euro 2024. We've come to the final moment here and I absolutely cannot wait for that game. With that being said, ladies and gents, I hope you have a great rest of your day. Enjoy the upcoming days leading up to the football. Enjoy the final. And I hope you have a great rest of your day. Ladies and gents, that brings the prediction to an end. I'll see you guys in the video very, very soon. Until next time, guys. See you later.